And we are back live here with the Unique Couples for Unique Couples Marriage Marathon. And we are already at our session number 4. We just got out of a session, high pack, passion, talking about marriage and how it relates to finance. And we had a beautiful couple, powerful couple that just guided us and gave us some information about how to make our marriage extraordinary in finance. So, without any further ado, we are here to session number 4. The day is going on and it's quickly coming to an end, but we know that we are here and we are here live with unique couples who are dedicated to building healthier marriages. Now, if you're just joining us for the first time today, it's okay. You can go back and you watch the replay if you're joining us for the first time today. But if you're joining us for the first time ever, we want you to put a number 1 in chat to let us know that, hey, you are new to the community and you're viewing us today for the first time. Put a 1 in chat. If you're here, you know what the Unique Couples community is about. You're here usually for the Sunday night live and you're here for the week to week. We want you to put a number 2, number 2 in chat. If you are here, you're a part of the community, and you even know about what's happening on a Wednesday night after dark, where it gets even much more spicier, we want you to put a number 3, number 3 in chat. We are grateful to have you here with us and where we know that unique couples are building healthier marriages. Now, as we get into this, unique couples has been giving away everything today. And with our session 4, there is there is no, we are here and they're giving it away. So if you want to be a part of this, it is as easy as this. 4, tickets to the Sex is Everything workshop, and that is coming up. List the top 5 tips for better intimacy that will be announced today. All you have to do is comment below when these tips are given. Make a list at the end and let us know that you were tuning in. Give us those tips that were announced today. And as simple as that, you can be the winner for tickets to Sex is Everything. One thing I must tell you, there's no hold bars when it comes to unique couples. They have hit today. We've talked about we're going to talk about intimacy and sex, but they've talked about finance. They've talked about communication. We started off this morning talking about, we were talking about everything. And if you were not here, you need to go back, watch the replay, and let us know that you have watched it. Please still comment after you've watched the replay. You have been missing out if you were not here from this morning, but it's okay because you're here now and you're going to be a part of what's happening. This is phenomenal. This is the 2nd year in a row that Unique Couples has put on this marriage marathon. Hashtag in chat, marriage is a marathon. Let us know that you're there. Marriage is a marathon. Marriage is not a sprint. Hashtag that. Extraordinary marriage. Let us know that you are here with us. Engage in the chat. Most of all, go and share this live. Go and share it now. I'm giving you a couple seconds. Go and share this live. Tag persons who you know are supposed to be here, who can use this information, to have these extraordinary marriages that unique couples are seeking to make sure fill the world with. Because we know when we have extraordinary marriages, we have extraordinary families We have extraordinary communities. We have an extraordinary world. So that is what they're doing here today. That is what they're doing here today. We talked about marriage and trust early this morning, marriage and communication, marriage and finance, and now we look at marriage and intimacy and sex. And we are going to welcome the founders themselves. Welcome them on. We are going to welcome them on right now. Remember, for tickets to Sex is Everything workshop, all you have to do is put the 5 top tips in chat for better intimacy, and that will be announced today. Our founders are here, and we want to welcome them. They are going into our session today that is leading on extraordinary Yes, talking about extraordinary marriages with intimacy and sex. And this is our lovely couple today, Vito and Linda Patrick, here from the beautiful island of Freeport, Grand Bahama. They are family persons. They are persons who have background in education, power generation. They are touching the lives of everybody and touching the lives of Yes. And without further ado, they are a family. They like to call themselves the what? The starting five. Yes, yes, yes. They are the Patricks, a family. They have 3 beautiful children. They are beautiful people. Trust me, they are amazing persons. If you're not a part of this community, get a part of this community because they are serious. They mean serious building marriages, motivation, inspirations, transformation. They're building healthier marriages that will affect the world. And we just want to welcome them. We want to encourage you. Continue doing the things that you're doing. You are moving mountains. Yes. You see one more, and I'm not going to forget that. That's right. They have targets to hit 1 million. And that is what they're doing. They are reaching the world and they are doing this one couple at a time. We want to thank them for their commitment to ensuring that they are building healthier marriages. These are the cornerstones of what we call our functional family structures, and you guys are doing it. You guys are Mr. and Mrs. Unique Couples themselves right here in the building today. Mr. Vito and Linda Patrick, they are going to be sharing with us in our session number 4. This indeed feels like a marathon. Listen, the Olympics has nothing on unique couples today. This indeed is a marathon. Like I said in the earlier session, I'm out of breath, but I'm still keeping my last breath to get every bit and every drop that I can get. Dropping nuggets from this morning, and I know without further ado, you are going to drop even more. So we welcome Mr. and Mrs. Vito Patrick to the to their own platform. We want to welcome you. Thank you for all that you are doing. Yes.
Oh, just thank you so much, Gia.
Yes, we want to thank you.
Hi, Thailand and TJ.
I know, right? In the background, Ty Lee is just she has awoken.
So yes, I think
so
they'll exit for this part of the conversation. Adults only. Yes, we are having so much fun. This has really been a marathon. So much to say and so little time. So disclaimer, if we do not get to say everything about extraordinary marriages and intimacy and sex, link us up, catch us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club, okay? Catch us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club for more, okay? Catch us in there for more. So, so we definitely want to share. Thank you. We have viewers from all over. We see the United Kingdom is here, the marriage partnership. Thanks for joining us. Yes, I know a lot of persons are going to catch the replay. Go ahead and share. We love hearing your comments. We love hearing from you and enjoy your writing your takeaways and your comments and your questions. We welcome them. So we're so excited to have you with us. Yes.
The marriage partnership all the way in the UK.
Yes.
Awesome to have you here.
Hello, Julie. Hello, Deborah, and everyone who's watching. Those of you who are in the Unique Couples Marriage Club, go ahead, be a part. If you are not, if you really want to take your marriage to the next level, then you will be a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club. It is a journey for more. And one of our favorite topics is what we're talking, like we've combined two of them, right? But they're going to be separate today. Is intimacy. So you want more intimacy, sex, communication, passion, trust, making your spouse your best friend, those drips of love, daily action steps, and the spars, the things that you do on a daily basis to make your relationship all that it needs to be. We have that in the club for you. So you can go ahead and join us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. And we have an introductory rate. So it's really, really just so that you can experience it and have the transformation you need. So we made it as affordable as possible, but prices will go up. So go ahead and join us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. The link is in the description and in the chat. Okay, so be a part of that experience with us. So we're talking about extraordinary marriages in
intimacy
and
sex.
Oh, yeah.
Intimacy and sex.
You know, trust is a part of that. Trust is a big part of that.
And we want to thank our presenters who would have went ahead of us. First, we had Jason and Lavette Baston, and they talked about extraordinary marriage and trust.
Yes.
And we know trust is very important when it comes to intimacy and sex.
Yep. So we had to have all of that in. We had to put all of that in.
We had that in. And then
communication.
And then we had our next speakers, who was Anton and Daria Brown, and they talked about extraordinary marriage and communication. And communication is the start to intimacy.
You're going to use some of that communication.
Sex.
Yes.
You got to have communication because you have to communicate to you. I have to communicate to Linda what I want, but we're going to talk about that later. Communication is important. Then after that, we would have had Nathaniel and Ashley Butler, and they talked about extraordinary marriage and finances.
Yes.
And we all know what the saying is: no money, no love.
No money, no honey.
So
that was an awesome presentation. Yes. Conversation.
We had great presentations from the speakers, and we just want to thank them again for taking time to present on the second annual Unique Couples Marriage Marathon here today.
Stay tuned in. After this, we have our panel discussion. You do not want to miss it. It is, you can watch the next video. It is Extraordinary Marriage in Troubled Times with Dan and Deborah Smith, Peter Watson, and of course yours truly, and our hostess with the Moses, Lynn Cawley. We will be there. Listen, we want to hear your questions. Type in your questions in chat. We want to answer those live, so be there for that conversation. Now, are we ready to dig in now?
No, we're not ready to dig in yet. You know,
we have to thank our sponsors.
We want to thank our sponsors.
Yes.
We want to thank
awesome. They made it possible.
Pretty by Shadra. You can contact her at 533-3546. She does hairstyles for all of the little girls, so you want to make sure you get.
Yeah, women too. So you can get your hair braided and everything.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly. Style me pretty. And then we also have Hair to Please. You want to contact Doris at Hair to Please 351-1962. You want to book your appointment so you can get your hair done. And if you need to get any weave or extensions, she have all those accessories as well. And then while you are there, and if you need to get your nails done, you can go and contact the Nail Lab Creations by Anna. You can reach her at 439-0523. So you can get your hair done, you can get your nails done, you can get everything
all
done.
Dolled up, and we need that. We're going to talk about that when it comes to sex. So we have to make sure that everything is legit and looking good and smelling nice and looking fine, right? Of course, we want to make sure money is not an issue, right? We want to make sure money is not an issue, and we're going to make sure we take it up to the next level. So we're talking about extraordinary marriages in intimacy and sex. So you want to have that extraordinary marriage, and you want the intimacy to be, extraordinary. You want the sex to be great. You want to look forward to being with your spouse and, being in the same space. You want to look forward to just enjoying yourself sexually, whether or not you both orgasm at the same time or one after the other, or there isn't an orgasm at all. Whatever is happening when it relates to sex, you want to make sure that you both are finding pleasure. Yes. Right? So today we're going to talk about intimacy. We have
5 tips.
Yeah, 5 tips for
intimacy.
Yeah, so our top 5. Well, maybe not top 5, but yes, these are the top 5 for today.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we had to say a top 5 today, this is what it'll be. And then we want to give you top 5 for sex. And I think Gia, we're giving away a prize.
A prize.
Yes.
So you have to stay tuned.
You have to put in those points. We want to see those comments in. We are giving away tickets to our Sex is Everything webinar. So you want to be a workshop. You want to be a part of that. So when it comes to intimacy is, sharing your feelings, your thoughts.
Mm-hmm. So intimacy is often confused with sex, but intimacy means deeply knowing someone while also feeling deeply known yourself. Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure you know your spouse. You want to deeply know your spouse.
So this isn't a sprint. This is a marathon. Yes, intimacy is a marathon. It's a journey. Intimacy is a journey. You're on this journey of connecting and growing and learning how you felt about and the intimacy you had with your spouse. Let's say when you were newlywed will be different from the intimacy you share 10, 15, 20 years into your relationship. And guess what? That is okay. That is a part of the journey. You just want to make sure that the intimacy is pleasing to both of you, that it's something that you want. It's the connection that you want. It's deepened. It's not getting worse, but getting better. And we help with that. So make sure. So number 1, as it relates to the top 5, these are the things that we're saying. Do these things so that you can make sure that you have commitment, that you're connecting with your spouse. Communication is there. You're close with your spouse. So all of that would lead to intimacy. Top 3 things. So we want to let you know these 5, top 5 things that you can do to increase the level of intimacy, to make sure your intimacy is on point. And then we'll talk about the top 5 things for sex. Okay.
Yeah. So number 1, hold hands more often and look into one another's eyes. Hold hands more often and look into one another's eyes. This leads to intimacy. You want to look in your spouse's eye, and you want to see how long you can look into those beautiful eyes. That is intimacy.
That's like the mirror into your soul, right?
Yes.
That's just seeing everything. And guess what? Some people can't do it.
Yeah, for some reason they can. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
But you should be able to.
I don't know why.
Look.
Yeah.
So
and then that. And you want to hold hands as well. That's very important. Holding hands, that's also being intimate. That's important. You want to hold your spouse's hand. You want to love them. You want to feel that hand. See how that hand feels. That's very, very important. So number 1 was hold hands more often and look into one another's eyes.
Yes. Okay, so number 2, when we look at the top 5 tips for extraordinary intimacy in marriage, we would say our number 2, what you said? It's the eyes for me. Yes. So number 2 is compliment your partner each day. So every day you have the opportunity. You're awake, you're alive, compliment your partner, whether it's how they look, how they sound, how they smell, something that they did. Make it a point to say something positive. Okay. Mm-hmm. We focus on the good things. We focus on the things that we want more of. Well, you should focus on the things you want more of, because you will get that. So if you focus on, all of what is good and nice and kind and what you love about your spouse, you will end up getting more of that, right? So your spouse says to you, "Oh, you look great in that dress," or you're really, you look sexy in that dress, or something like that. The tendency would be for you to wear either that dress again or something similar, because you love the attention that your spouse, and that was something positive. So that's a tip for guys too. Like, you see something that your wife is doing and you love that, and whether it was something that she did in the bedroom, or something outside of the bedroom, compliment her on that, and then you get more of that. Right? Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. So a part of connecting with your spouse, being close to them, definitely communicating all of these feelings and thoughts, and that is a part of the intimacy. So compliment your partner every day. Yeah. Be positive. Exactly. Yeah, because you want to be around those positive feelings and positive people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
even with the different chores around the house, you want to compliment. Mm-hmm. Whoever is cleaning the bathroom, whoever is cooking, helping with the kids, all that stuff, you want to compliment your partner each day. That's very important.
And I think sometimes we take it for granted that, we're saying it, but we have to be intentional about making sure that happens. Okay. So point number three.
Point number three, you want to focus on touch. Focus on touch. And an example of touch would be a massage or a foot rub. So you want to focus on the touch. And remember earlier, I said that intimacy is often confused with sex. So when you're focusing on touch, when you're doing the massage, you want to do the massage with no strings attached. Ooh. Yeah. When
is the last time you had that? No strings attached. Put no strings attached in chat.
Because we're talking about intimacy. So give your spouse the massage. And this goes for the men and the ladies. Mm-hmm. Give your spouse the massage with no strings attached. Don't give the massage when you're looking for something. No, we're talking about intimacy. So you want to give that massage, and you never know what that intimacy would lead to. But right now we're just focusing on intimacy. So focus on the touch.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like creating this wonderful recipe of all the conditions, the environment for this healthiness to exist, and then to make sure that, hey, when it does come to a sexual experience or encounter, that, hey, that could be even more phenomenal, because you two are close. You're in tune to each other. You're in each other's world. You're in each other's space. You're in the same unique space, mentally, physically, spiritually, socially. So when your spouse touches you, like you mentioned earlier about the touch, when your spouse touch you, right? When they go ahead and do that, it's not something foreign to you. Yeah. Yeah. Because you're so used to, doing it casually, and, doing the touches and the massage and just holding hands and doing all of these things. So when it comes time for sex or any sexual encounter, it wouldn't be foreign, like weird or odd.
It isn't like, brand new.
Yeah, it isn't brand new. Like, you're not used to it. Or the only time you touch your spouse is when it has to do with sex, and that is a no. So if you're only touching your spouse when it comes to a sexual encounter, then you have a big problem. Okay, so you should be touching, holding hands, kissing, laying on each other, sitting next to each other, touch. Yeah, just finding a way, because you're connecting physically. Okay, that's like being in each other's space physically. Okay, yes. So that needs to be a part of that. Okay, so number four, top 5 things we would say today for extraordinary intimacy in your marriage. Okay,
so number 4 is to say I love you to one another. Say I love you to one another.
We take this for granted, right?
Yep. A lot of persons take it for granted. You should tell your spouse I love you every day. You should tell them this several times throughout the day. In the morning, during the day, you want to send them a text or slip them a note or something. In the evening time, before you go to sleep, you want to say it as often as you can. Tell your spouse I love you.
Yeah, and then do it just because. It doesn't have to be whether, you know, it's a special occasion or something happened or they did something, or not even because they said it, you go ahead and say it, but make it where you just say it.
Yeah.
You just say it and mean it. Not when you say it and they're kind of like questioning it because you haven't really shown it. Okay, so saying this I love you has to match with the actions that you actually showed that you love your spouse. Okay, so the saying have to match the action. Okay, so communicate your heart to each other. Let your spouse feel your heart.
Yes.
That is what saying I love you and communicating your love is all about, and your spouse needs to feel that. So our fifth point, when we look at extraordinary marriage in intimacy, this is what you need to have. We're saying go ahead and do this. If you want to get more on, you know, intimacy and of course sex, which we'll be talking about in a bit, be a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club. Join us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. So number five.
You want to give gifts, your time, your future regularly.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to make sure you give these gifts.
So
love spent is time.
Yeah. So definitely. And another saying is love is spelt Time.
Yes.
Yeah. Right? So all of what you put in, that is showing the love. Are you putting in that time with your spouse? Are you giving them the gift of your time? Are you giving them the gift of your future? Are you communicating that you want to be a part and they are a part of your future? Are you planning that? Are you having those discussions? Do you have couple goals that you are going to achieve in the future? All of that is a part of being intimate, because intimacy is about commitment. It's about communication. It's about closeness. And if you have, let's say, two of them and you don't have the other, that is going to be an issue, because if you're kind of close, maybe you're close and you're talking, you're communicating, but your spouse doesn't feel or know that you have a future with them, or they don't ever discuss, you know, or you never plan and talk about the future, then that is going to be a problem. There's going to be a disconnect. So yes, make sure that intimacy, we said, is a journey, just like how marriage is a journey, right? It's not a sprint. So make sure that you make intimacy a part of your life. You can do that daily. Okay, do that daily. We say Unique Couples Marriage Club. We have the club for you to join and be a part of. Unique Couples Marriage Club, you get more. It's to taking your relationship to the next level of loving. Okay, so take your relationship to the next level of loving. Make sure that you connect with your spouse. Do that on a daily basis. So go ahead and join us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. The link is in the description. Okay, so you're intimate. You are growing each day. You're taking your relationship to the next level. You're doing those trips of love. And now it's like you have the perfect environment, the perfect recipe to make sure that you take it up another level. And we're talking about healthy couples. We're talking about couples who, we're not talking about couples who may have physical or medical reasons for, sex not to be enjoyable or engaging for them. So we're talking about, couples who, hey, I want to do it, but maybe I'm having a problem communicating, struggling, having issues with, maybe we had past problems and now sex is the problem. So we want to talk about how you can have that extraordinary marriage in sex. Yes. So this is our top 5 tips for extraordinary sex, okay, in your marriage. So what do you do? What do you do? I hope you're writing your points. We have a winner for this segment. Those persons who, yes, write it in. We are giving away the Sex is Everything workshop we will be hosting. So go ahead. You'll have free tickets to join that. So we want to see your comments in chat. So what is number 1?
So number 1 is you want to make it clear what you want. Make it clear what you want.
Yes. So when it comes to making it clear what you want, you have to think about what are your needs? And are you communicating it? Okay, so what are your needs? Do you want your spouse to do ABC? What is it? Do you want your spouse to, some people say go down or do cunnilingus? Do you want, people say for men, do you want your wife to perform fellatio on you? Do you want, some people, in other words, get that blow job or what else do they call it? But yeah. So what do you want oral sex? Is that a part of it? Are you interested in having sex without the lights off all the time? Are you interested in having sex with clothes off? Are you interested in having sex in a different place, in a different position, outside of your home with your spouse,
So you have to communicate.
You have to
you
communicate.
Want the missionary position? You want on the top? What is it?
So what is it? You have to communicate that. If you're not communicating that, hey, I like it when you do this ABC, but I do not necessarily like it when you do D, E, and Q, because you have those numbered. Okay, so we were at the point where we were doing like this travel all over the world kind of thing, and so it was like name those positions and have those things were like created, making it fun and all that stuff. I think I just went into a different topic, but a different point. But the point is that you have to know,
make it clear what you want.
Yes. Okay. You have to know your body. You have to know what brings you pleasure. You have to know what makes you feel sensual, what makes you feel hard and fire, interested and wanting to have that pleasure with your spouse. So know what it is for you and then communicate it to your spouse.
Yes, that's important.
That's important. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that is one way to have that extraordinary sex in your marriage. Okay. Yeah. So point number two.
Number two, don't rush foreplay.
Oh, I think the ladies are gonna love this.
Don't rush foreplay. And yes, it is directed more to the men than the ladies. Guys, listen up. This is very important. And it also goes back to number one, where it talks about make it clear what you want. So husband and wife, you have to make it clear what you want. And when we're talking about the foreplay, you have to make it clear what you want, how you want it. Yeah. That's important. And back to the men, you don't want to rush the foreplay. The foreplay is very important, and you need to make sure your wife is being pleased. You need to make sure
she's ready.
Yeah, she's ready, and and her needs are met.
Yeah.
So that foreplay is very important. You don't want to rush it. You want to take your time. If no play, you will have no say.
No say.
Say it. Say
if no play, you will have no say. Meaning,
so
if you're not on point with that foreplay and making sure, we know foreplay does not begin when you're about to have that sexual encounter.
Yeah.
So the foreplay starts even with the communication before, like in the day, right?
It's not. It basically can start from in the morning when you wake up, leading up to that night.
Yeah. So it's all those little things you do.
Yeah. It's all the little things that come. Linda talks about the drips of love. Drip, drip, drip. So you want to take those little small bites. Those little small drips.
Like you biting something on body just now. Because we talking about sex and you talking about bites, but go ahead, finish. I said distract you.
Yeah, you're trying to distract me. But anyway, point number two, don't rush foreplay.
So you were saying the foreplay starts in the morning. And the stuff that you can do. What are some of the things that they can do to lead up to making sure this foreplay happens ahead of time, ahead of just this? Like when you send me those texts.
So it goes back to, the communication. Sending them those texts.
Yeah.
And then for those of us who would be old school, you want to slip that little note in her bag and throw it today. When she opens her bag, she sees this little love note. And, it goes from there. And earlier we talked about saying, I love you. So in the morning time, you want to make sure you say, I love you before she leave. You want to make sure you give her a little head on the butt. You want to do all these different things. You want to spice it up. And all of that would lead to foreplay.
So it's even with the checking up and having that communication, or being able to talk to your spouse, and just finding out how they're doing during the day.
Yes.
Okay, so that is a lead too. And when it comes to the actual act where you're going to engage in the sexual experience, you can make sure that when you're actually doing the physical foreplay now, where you're in your bedroom and stuff, that you take your time with that. Don't rush it. Oh, I'm just gonna kiss the breast and then kiss this part and then that's it, and then not even do any of those and just get straight to the point. No. Okay, because hey, yeah, that's for another time. Anyway, we'll talk more about that deeper.
So
I think we talked about that.
Yes, we go much deeper into this in the marriage club.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you are a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club.
Yeah, I think we talked about some of that on After Dark, about what you do. So yeah, After Dark, definitely
Marriage Club.
Marriage Club. Yeah, Marriage Club. So we're going to talk more about the little things that you do, the drifts of love, the little things that you do, the bite-sized pieces of what you do to make sure that it is happening for you. This week, we are going to be talking about summer quickies in the Marriage Club. So and that is going to be all about sex this week. So go ahead, make sure you're part of the Marriage Club. Click the link in the description and in the chat and be a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club experience. So what number are we on now?
So we're on number 3.
I'm trying to stay focused, Gia.
And number 3 is try new positions.
Ooh, okay.
Number 3 is to try new positions. And in order to try in these new positions, you have to communicate.
When is the last time you tried a new position? Like anyone?
Yeah.
When is the last time? Yesterday, last night, last week? When we tried a new one.
So you have to make it. So back to number 1, you have to make it clear in terms of what you want.
Yeah.
Right? And then, man, I'm going to hit on you again. You don't want to rush that foreplay, because leading to number 3, trying new positions. Once that foreplay is right, then, you'll be able to try any position you want with your wife. So number 3, you want to try new positions. And by trying these new positions, that's going to intensify your sex life. That's going to heat up your sex life. And you're going to have extraordinary marriage in sex by trying these
extraordinary
new positions.
Sex in marriage. I like that, right?
So you want to try these new positions. That's very, very important.
So it's all about this trying these new things has a way of connecting you. Yeah, it has a way of connecting you intimately, like closely. You're trying these new things that brings a new level of excitement and passion and interest and fun to your relationship, because you're doing something. And we're not just talking about in the bedroom in terms of sex, but even so much as like when we had our group date night, it was something new for couples. So that led to, and then we have the different theme date night. So that led to a new experience. And then the spas that they got to do for that night, that led to, new. So you always want to make it new. Okay. It's all about these trying these first together makes it all the more exciting. So the planning may be all the excitement some couples get. Okay, so if your spouse may not be someone who is interested or is finding pleasure in sex, and of course you'll need to have that conversation about why that is, and if there's a medical reason or whatever reason, get to the bottom of that. But for some, just the experience of planning and deciding, okay, we're going to do this, and all that excitement is like a build up to when you get to the finale. So that could be something exciting for your spouse. So try it and make sure that you're doing everything that you can to spice up this relationship. Guess what? It is holy and undefiled. This is you and your spouse in your marriage. This is where you get to do it. So have fun with it. You should be having more fun than anybody else with it, because sex is ordained by God. God invented sex, and he wants you to be happy in your marriage. Yes, God wants you to have that big O's. He wants you to have those O's as well. Yes.
Number 4. Number 4. Make date nights a priority.
Oh, yes.
Make date nights a priority. And we have a whole session on date nights. We have talked about it before. Dating is very important. And The frequency, you should have it established. You should have it scheduled in terms of how often you go on date nights. Date nights are very important because it brings that intimacy. It brings that communication. You get time where it's just you two. You can get away from whether it's work, whether it's the kids, whatever it is. It's just a time that you two can bond together. You can talk with one another. You can communicate. It's very important that you have these date nights, and you want to make it a priority because it's just something about these date nights.
Oh yeah.
And we're talking about intimacy and sex, and the date night helps out in both areas.
Definitely.
Yes, because with the date night, you would be together and you are planning, you are strategizing, and you are getting intimate, So that intimacy is developing. And then later on that night, this is where the sex would come in as well. So date night is very important.
Yes. Loving those comments and emojis and chat typhus. Yeah, so definitely make date night a point. It just so happens that that's like one of the secret ingredients, having those date nights. And it doesn't have to be expensive. It just needs to be something that you thought of, that you plan, that you're intentional about doing, and just make it happen. It could be at home. It could be something that you do outdoors. It's just quality time that you spend with your spouse, just the two of you.
Yes.
When you want to go ahead and you want to do group dating, that is fine as well. That is just another new something that you're doing. But go ahead and do that, because that is going to be the secret that keeps your relationship healthy and strong for the longest. Okay.
Yes.
And that is definitely a secret proven by research. So make date nights a priority. Hey, join us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. We're going to make sure you have at least one group date, and then we give ideas and suggestions for your weekly date nights as well. Okay. And then we are finally at number 4.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah,
Yes,
number
5. Okay.
So number 5, you want to be physically attractive.
Ooh.
You want to be physically attractive.
Yes.
So you want to make sure this can also be called self-care. You want to make sure that you take care of yourself. You want to make sure that you do what needs to be done. So for the men, if you're working in an industry where let's say you're a mechanic and you have those dirty fingernails, you want to make sure they are clean. You want to make sure that you are attractive to your wife. So you want to do whatever you can to be attractive to your wife.
So they should have that communication too, where they find out what she likes and appreciates, and what she would, like to see him wear, or, all those different stuff. Shouldn't that be a conversation as well?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it definitely has to be communicated.
Even though, we all want to be in our own space, but you want to dress up and dress to impress who? Your spouse, right?
Yes.
Yeah, your spouse. It's not for somebody else out there. It should be you. Okay. And individually, you need to make sure that, hey, you like how you look. And for ladies, that is all about making sure that you get your sexy on. Like, you like how you look and feel. And whatever you need to do to make sure that happens, you do that. Okay. You need to put on weight, gain weight, change your wardrobe, wear this, don't wear this, minus that, subtract this, whatever it is that makes you feel empowered and sexy and beautiful, for you first. Okay. So look the best for yourself first, and then definitely for your spouse. Take that in consideration, because if you feel love and you feel beautiful and you feel sexy, then that is going to transmit to how you relate to your spouse. Because if you're you don't like your body and you don't like how you look or feel, then that is going to communicate in the bedroom. You wouldn't want your spouse to see you naked. You wouldn't want your spouse to touch you or touch certain areas. And then you have to watch what you say, because sometimes we say, I know I get caught up with it. Oh man, I don't like this. And look how I have the scar here. And why did this happen? And how I need to get this off. And you're there complaining and complaining about your body. And your spouse is there loving your body, but you're complaining about it. So that is going to cause a discrepancy between, what happened. So you have to watch the words you speak. And I know we're running out of time, but that was point number 5. We're going to continue the conversation all week in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. Yes, you have to pay to be in that group. The great thing is, if you join today, you get to be in there for $24.95. Yes, that is a month. So you get to be in there. You go ahead and be a part of Summer Quickies. You could catch that for this month. You could also be a part of our date night, which will be happening on
August the 23rd.
Yes, August 23rd. That's a Monday at 8 p.m. So you could be a part of that. So it's all about bringing in that spice and relationship and keeping it hot and keeping it interested and trying new things and just getting those ideas and getting that daily stuff of what you do. It is just gonna make your relationship explosive, extraordinary. You can have that extraordinary marriage in intimacy and sex. Right. You can have extraordinary sex and intimacy in your marriage.
Yeah. So you got the 5 tips for intimacy. You got the 5 tips for sex.
Yes, we need to get the winners. Yes. So we'll announce those tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes. So we see you waiting, Gia. Waiting and telling us, yes, time. We like gotta heat it up in here. But we're gonna give you that time.
Waiting and anticipating, and in the midst of waiting, sweating because it was hot in here. Until some of us we wanna come off the live and get you know.
Okay, so we want to give the star and we're going to end the session.
Yeah, so
come back at once.
So SPA is spouse supporting positive action. So go ahead, Linda, give the SPA.
So this is number.
This would be the 4th SPA.
The 4th SPA. If you missed the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd one, go ahead and watch the other videos. So this SPA is for extraordinary marriage in intimacy and sex. So are you bold enough to try it? Are you bold enough to do it? Well, this is your SPA for today. Make a list of 7 things you want to do with your spouse sexually. And then once you've made your list, share your list with your spouse. That's step number 2. Share the list. So you'll have to exchange lists. Okay. And then step number 3 would be for you to do the list. We're going to leave it like that. If you need the courage, you need to get more on exactly what you need to do. You're not there in your relationship yet where you get to be so open. Hey, go ahead and join us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. Okay, so we had fun sharing. We are coming back on at 2 with our panel discussion. So we're going to end now. Join us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. We love you guys. It's all about building stronger couples, healthier marriages, and happier families. And in the club, we're all about motivation, inspiration, and transformation for your relationship. So be a part of that.